just got to execute early on, find a rhythm of the game, and then go finish in the fourth quarter.
The whole season on the line for the Buckeyes. Nobody giving the Wolverines a chance to win this game. Howard in trouble! Incomplete! Ohio State turns it over on downs. And the Michigan Wolverines will shock the college football world. And now there's some skirmishes going on the field.
You got to fire Ryan Day.
If there wasn't a 12-team playoff, Ryan Day would be...
I think he would be fired.
Is Ryan Day the guy for this job?
Can he and the football team bounce back?
Touchdown, Ohio State strikes first.
They cracked his helmet with such a big hit. Look at that.
Touchdown end zone. Henderson breaks free. House call for Ohio State. The Buckeyes can begin planning for Pasadena. There is Smith roaming free. Breaks a tackle. Ohio State strikes quickly. Caught in stride. Abuka touchdown. Buckeyes on fire. Smith is wide open. It's a Crimson avalanche here in Pasadena. Travian Henderson gets momentum back for Ohio State. Sawyer knocked it out and picks it up. Ohio State scoop and score. Heavy pressure. Howard delivers downfield. And Smith, he's got it. And Ohio State is going to walk out of Atlanta national champions.
The story gets to get told now, and it's a great story about a bunch of guys who have just overcome some really tough situations. There's a lot of people that counted us out, and we just kept swinging and kept fighting. It's the reason why you get into coaching, is to see guys overcome things, learn life lessons, and then reach their dreams.
College football national champion Coach Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes.
What's going on, Buckeye Nation? How you doing tonight? Rob and Peter back for another live stream. We got a lot to cover tonight. Ohio State is traveling to Champaign, Illinois, to take on the Fighting Illini in the Battle of Illybuck. We're gonna break down that matchup fully for you tonight. Also, obviously, last weekend, Penn State fell flat on their face and are the laughing stock of college football right now. We're going to discuss Jim Knowles and how things are going in that department for him. Obviously, other big matchups as well. We're going to talk Heisman hopefuls. We're going to talk Indiana, Oregon, Michigan traveling out to Southern California and LA. But first and foremost, what I want to ask you, Rob, I haven't asked you this on the live stream yet this year, but have you had any pizza lately that has rocked your world?
Oh, man. I saw that Hungry Howie's had come out with a Detroit-style pizza, like the classic Detroit-style pizza, that the sauce at the top, kind of like Buddy's.
Sure.
I tried it. It was pretty good. But, dude, I'm telling you, man, the place I always revert back to is Louis. And
That's the best, right?
Yeah, it's the best. Dude, we went there, man. Tell them about Louis, Peter. Tell them about
it. The crust, dude, it just is crunchy, but not too crunchy. Just the perfect amount, like the thickness of it. It hit. Like the toppings were extraordinary. The cheese, blended cheeses, and it was a phenomenal slice of pie. I'll tell you what.
It was, man. But dude, I still have to make my way to Grandma Bob's Pizzeria, though.
Right, I know. Yeah. Since I moved over, I feel like I've tried a couple options over here. Like one of my coworkers, he's from New York, and so he suggested some of that. There's this place called No No's Pizza on the west side of Michigan, and so I gave that a shot. It was decent, but New York style, to me, that's my third favorite style of pizza. Detroit's number one, Chicago's number two, and New York. It's not bad, but it's definitely. I won't go out of my way to get it. So
what we had at Louis, that was Sicilian. I love Sicilian pizza, dude.
Yep. Sicilian. Didn't we get like the pepperoni something or other?
Mm-hmm. We just got the pepperoni.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal pizza. When I slide back through to your side of the state, I'm gonna have to definitely indulge, but.
Yeah,
well, let's start breaking down this Ohio State-Illinois matchup, man. Illinois, obviously, a couple weeks back was humbled by the Hoosiers in Bloomington. It did not go well. 63-10, absolutely flattened. Then very next week, they went home, regrouped a little bit, and knocked off a solid USC Trojans team in control of the game. Then they let it slip away and kicked a field goal to ultimately take the victory over Lincoln Riley and the Trojans. But I'll be honest, man, this was a matchup in the offseason that you and I had circled that we thought this is actually a potential loss for Ohio State. We need to seriously pay attention to them. But as we've seen the two teams play now through, 6 weeks of the season, how do you feel, man? How do you feel entering this? What's your confidence level at? And where are you feeling?
I'm still going to take this game seriously. It's
Certainly
at Illinois. They're going to be looking to knock off the number one team in the country, just like everybody who plays Ohio State. That's their biggest game of the season. They treat so you got to take this game seriously. But just from what I've seen and on paper, I have the stats here. On paper, Ohio State is definitely the better team. And to me, the only way they fumble this game is they just completely just don't show up, come out lackadaisical, drunk, whatever, and they don't take care of business. But other than that, like I don't see, like, I'm really, really trying to be fair and impartial here.
Sure.
But just what I've seen from both teams, I think Ohio State is the way better team. If you look at it on paper, even like defense, man, Ohio State defense is lights out. Their total defense
not fair.
Is third, 215.8 yards per game. Rushing defense 21st, 91.4 yards per game. Passing yards allowed fourth, 124.4 yards per game. Third down, they know how to get off the field. They've only allowed 13 out of 64 attempts. Total sacks 14, doing a lot better than with Jim Knowles. And then red zone defense have allowed 0, and I mean 0 touchdowns. Now, if you look at Illinois' offense, there's only one category where they're ranked even close to top 20, and that's passing offense. They have the 37th best passing offense.
Even with all that, their leading receiver going to the NFL last year, Altmaier's still doing his thing. He's leading the offense. He doesn't have many weapons to dispose it to, but he's doing a good job, which I think I'd say he's an NFL quarterback. I need to watch him more, but I'd say he can potentially play in that league.
And the rest, total offense, rushing offense, third down conversions, just awful. They're not even close to the top 50, 81st, 99th, 64 total offense. And just like, if you look at Washington's team as a whole on offense, they had way better skill players than Illinois.
Much better.
And Ohio State completely shut down their quarterback, their running back after that first long run, and their wide receivers just completely took away everything. I'm trying to be fair and partial. I just don't see a scenario where Illinois comes out with the W again. Ohio State would have to just not show up. But you know what? This is a different Ohio State team. They're more disciplined. They're more hungry. They're more determined. Like, this is a lot different Ohio State team under Ryan Day than we've seen in the past. And they've looked prepared every single game. And the moment that I heard Caleb Downs say, hey, this team does not care about one banner that they got last season. We're not national champs. We didn't earn anything. And then Caden Curry's quote after the Washington game saying, we're a bunch of nobody defensive linemen. We're just out here showing up, doing our job. And they have showed their jobs, dude. This is just a hungry Ohio State team. Again, like, they'd have to be out partying till 5 a.m., doing shots and just lines and everything else. And
they really do seem professionally. They're very businesslike. They have that kind of approach to the football contest. every game they're not overlooking anybody. They're not taking anybody for granted. Us fans, we can get and do that, and you kind of heard that in my language, bringing up the game and bringing up this contest. But this team, its leadership is elite, and this culture that Day has built is phenomenal. And it's wonderful to see just the players like Ennis and Downs, and you see, I would say even Curry is a leader on this team, and those are some of the captains, at least defensively, and they've led well in this offseason. You can tell that they just have a different mindset approaching these games. They are not going to take anybody lightly, and they know everybody's going to give them their best shot. And they've completely shut down their opponents. Defensively, I mean, this is a historic defense that we're seeing. As you mentioned, you brought up the stats. I mean, not even a rushing touchdown allowed still now through 5 weeks. I've never seen a defense like this. 2002 was elite, but this is even surpassing that defense in my opinion. But
yeah, I mean, like, dude, again, like the fact that they're just able to duplicate this defense, especially in the red zone from last season. I mean, dude, 0 red zone touchdowns given up. That is phenomenal. That is elite. That is what wins national championships. And I don't want to hear anything else. Now, on to the looking at Illinois' defense.
Sure.
Their biggest weakness is their passing defense, which is 111th ranked in the nation, giving up 252.3 yards per game. Now, seeing that Ohio State is they're fourth overall in sacks allowed, giving up 2, and Julian Sayin has been playing lights out. Just his completion rate is off the charts. He's calm, he's cool, he's got a lot of composure in the pocket. Remember, he took one to the chin and was still able to throw a dart to Claire, and that was phenomenal, dude. But I mean, man, Ohio State's total offense is 28th overall, averaging 451.4 yards per game, and their passing offense averages 279.8 yards per game. So, I mean, if Illinois does not control the time possession, if they do not control the time possession, if they do not stop Ohio State on third down, which Ohio State is 12th overall, converting 26 out of 48, almost 50% conversion rate. That's
phenomenal.
It's gonna be long. It's gonna be a long day, dude. It just is, man.
There's not too many other ways to look at it. Like, as analysts, we're trying to find ways that Illinois might compete in this contest. Maybe they'll do this. Maybe they'll run the ball well. Maybe they'll exploit some weaknesses. But defensively, I haven't seen an offense be able to find any weaknesses outside of the scripted drives. As we talked about it, we saw Minnesota march, pretty effectively down the field on their opening possession, and then sniffed the red zone one time after that, the rest of the game. Took that 3-0 lead and couldn't do anything else with it. And so hats off to Matt Patricia, because he really has done a wonder with this defense. Eight starters leaving for the NFL got drafted, and we're having the best defense of our lifetime. It's not fair to other teams. It really ain't. It really ain't.
It's not, man. I mean, that's really saying something, because we all know who he had as defensive coordinator in 2019. Jeff Hafley did a phenomenal job, but dude, like Matt Patricia, dude, he's been coaching them up. Complete masterclass. It's just you can't get any better than this. And you know what? The 14 sacks right now is about 14 more than Ohio State got with Jim Knowles this time of the season. But we'll get to Jim Knowles later. Don't worry, we'll be talking about Jim Knowles.
Well, we're gonna bring him up. Him and Penn State. Do you think Patricia will honor the 2-year commitment that Day requires from his assistants, or do you think we are just going to have him for this one run?
You know what? What if he just has this epiphany, just realized hey,
sure,
college is for me. I finally found my niche in terms
he
of
looks happier, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does look happier, dude.
He lost 100 pounds.
Yeah, and I just think it's just like, okay, like being a head coach in the pros didn't work for me. I probably won't be a head coach anymore.
Mhm.
And now it's just like, okay, I'm in college. They love me as a defensive coordinator.
Sure.
I'm doing great. And just like, I just don't see him wanting to go anywhere else. Now, who knows? Maybe he'll go back in the pros as a coordinator. But other than that, dude, he looks really happy. The players love him. Did you see
Yeah.
how like Caleb Down, like I think it was either Caleb Downs or Jeremiah Smith embraced him after the game? Like,
Yeah,
dude, the
exactly.
players love him, man. They just
They got a special bond with him, man.
yeah,
And,
they
and
do.
Knowles was always up in the box, and he seemed distant, and that's how players kind of described him as he exited the program. He was hard to get along with, and so I think they're really embracing him, and I think there's a reality of that, and that's kind of why I posed that question too. So I thought maybe there is a chance he just is happy in his role. He's satisfied in his role. Now I know money talks, and there's more money to be made in the NFL than there is in college, but there is something to be said, and I respect the heck out of men that want to mold men and shape men and encourage them, in those interesting years that college brings. So hopefully he'll stick around, but we'll find out for sure. I know
Yeah,
that's kind of a big question in the fan base right now. Are we just having for 1 year, or maybe he's in for the long haul? We'll see.
yeah. But one thing I want to touch upon is the time
Yeah.
position. And just it seems like we're
Oh
seeing
yeah.
a complete like opposite on offense of what we've seen from Ryan Day offenses in the
Right.
past. And
Right.
just dude, for the first 5 games, they have just the time possession has been 31 minutes for those games, dude. Like that's like 50, that's a little over 50% of the game. It's like we haven't really seen that in the past. We've seen these fast scoring offenses just
Right.
not even like 8-minute drives, 9-minute drives. We've seen like, okay, a minute's been off the clock and they've already scored. And it's like it's halftime. They put up 40 points. Just like, dude, he finally realizes that, my defense is this good that I don't need to put up all these points. Let's
Yeah.
let's sustain drives. Let's control the time possession. Let's keep the defense fresh because they are the bread and butter of the team right now. They are
I think
what
it's an evolution of who he is as a coach. I think he's finding different ways to win now. It's a luxury to have a great defense, and when you can lean on them, especially with a young quarterback who's still growing, and gosh, he is exceeding expectations. So they're putting more on his plate each week, but it's a great thing to have. And why not win that way? And why not leave stuff off the film so that Michigan has everything to pour over and study for us, and be ready in that game? Why not hold some things back and attack, much like Jim Tressel? Do you remember Tressel? He always had special packages and special plays that he had never run all season, and he pounced on the Michigan game, and they always worked. Always.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like, and I think he realizes what he has in Julian saying. When you have a quarterback
Sure.
that has a completion rate of pretty much, 80%,
80%.
80% for the year, blowing Will Howard out of the water. We all know that Will Howard was extremely efficient and his completion rate was what, I think 75, 76%. But when you realize you have that, you say, okay, like I don't need to throw the long ball every time and get this offense on the field and score quickly. He can deliver on 2nd and 7, 3rd and 3,
Yeah.
3rd and 7. It's just like the short game is just ridiculous. He can make any throw possible. He can't miss. And if he does miss, it's because the receiver drops the ball, man, which we saw at the Texas game. But dude, that pass to Carnell Tate down the left sideline, Carnell Tate could have been standing on the 40-yard line like this,
Yeah.
not
Dropped in the
moved.
basket,
It would
man.
have dropped in the basket, dude. That's how accurate Julian's saying it. It is
That
ridiculous, man.
that throw and his touchdown pass to Tate were just chef's kiss, man. Phenomenal. dialed in 50+ yard throws. It was amazing to see him launch that thing. So
when you have a quarterback like that, it's just like we
Yeah.
can take time off the clock. We can control the time of possession. We can take 8 minutes, 9 minutes off from a drive, dude. And just like they did that against Washington in the in beginning of the third quarter, dude. They took 8, 9 minutes off the clock.
I know
So
that game went really fast because of that. Yeah, it did.
We're seeing an evolution of Ryan Day. We're seeing that he's probably thinking like, hey, like if I want to win the Big Ten, I need to play Big Ten ball. But when it comes time to playing the SEC, the Big 12, the ACC, where it's just completely different playing styles, then I need to adapt. And they have the talent to adapt.
Yeah, for sure. It's phenomenal, man, to see them win in different ways. It's great because we can see Day evolving and adapting to college football and learning there are different ways. It doesn't just have to be one way. I think he's starting to finally take things in from other coaches that he's talked to and coaching clinics, and he's applying it, and it's working out really well. So that's encouraging to see. Score prediction wise, I mean, it always kind of evolves through the week for us as we study the game even more. But what are you thinking, man? I know I got a feel for what's going through your brain, but what do you think score wise this one might end up at?
You know, I will say this. Illinois lost to top-ranked Indiana 62-10. Indiana has similar defense, giving up 221.4 yards per game, 88.8 rush yards per game, 133.4 pass yards per game, and their offense, Indiana's offense averages 538.2 yards per game. Pretty much similar teams, and it's hard to think of a scenario where Illinois wins this. I'm going to put some respect on this game because it's at Illinois, and I'm not going to take anything for granted. I think Illinois makes it a game all the way till the end of the third, and then Ohio State runs away with it. I think Illinois is the first team to score double digits. I'm going to give them 14, and I'm going to say Ohio State wins 28-14.
I respect it. I think, it's going to be a rowdy atmosphere. We saw the Orange Crush versus USC. It was a pretty packed stadium, and to see Illinois Memorial Stadium packed again, that's always a good sight. So it will be loud and rowdy even though it's a noon start. I think that the Illini are a proud program. Brett Bielema will have them prepared because he is a good college head coach. Let's just be honest. He knows how to play Big Ten football. He truly does, both at Wisconsin and at Illinois. You know, I kind of believe it'll be interesting to see how Day approaches the road game again, because this is just our second road test of the season. And the first half versus Washington was extremely conservative, we had some unfortunate bounces with the punt return fumble, obviously, that kind of, made us switch up our attack a little bit, but and slowed our offense, of course, not having the ball. But will Day open things up a little bit more, or will he kind of ease into this road game, kind of ease into the game, get the feel for it, and see how it goes? I kind of have the sense that he might dial it back a little bit again, protect his quarterback, lean on that defense. And so I do have it being a little lower scoring. 30. I'll say 31 to 12. I think Illinois is the first program that breaks that double-digit marker on the Ohio State defense. I don't really see this being too close in the fourth quarter. I could see it being close to 2.5, however, and then the Buckeyes just impose their will and pull away. But
you know what, dude? I could see a scenario where Ryan Day ingrains in his players' head, and they ingrain in each other's heads that they're the underdog. Each team, they're on the road. People are talking about them losing. They're probably seeing all over social media. People are saying they're not that great. Julian Sain still sucks. This team is mid. Matt Patricia can't coach up a defense.
Yeah, no, that's foolish.
And just like, they probably have that ingrained in their head, dude. They're playing each game as underdogs. I could see that happening, and maybe they just come out swinging full throttle and just take it to them from first quarter to the end of the fourth quarter.
There's a scenario where this team is still playing angry because, like I said, they are business-like and professional. And the college kids will, to your point, will find an edge for everything. Teams are, media is saying and fans saying, you're not the number one team. Go prove them wrong. Let them know what you're all about. And I think they might just do that. So I'm saying 31-12. We'll see how it shakes out. It's going to be a fun one to see unfold. But a lot of other matchups that are really good. But we did want to
I want to address this comment real quick. So Cliff said Wisconsin will not give Ohio State their best shot. Luke Fickle quitting this team. Peter, did you watch any of that Michigan-Wisconsin game?
I watched the majority of it. Team? He did. All right. There was a scenario in the fourth quarter where he could have called timeouts and gotten the ball back and made a run for points because they were down 14 points of the game. They had gotten a touchdown to make it 24-10. And the scenario played out when Michigan got the ball back. They were still kind of in the game, although it really was over. If you had watched the game, you could tell Wisconsin's not coming back. But as a head coach, he didn't give his team an opportunity to make the stop, get the offense the ball back, and potentially make it a one-score game. Instead, he just let the clock bleed out. Michigan was draining the clock, and he didn't do anything to stop it. So that's kind of where he's getting some flack. And I saw that online after the game, too. He was really getting raked over the coals by the Michigan faithful. A lot of people turned that game off by then, so that's why it's not really a national story at this point. But yeah, he did kind of quit on the team. So
yeah, shout out to Cliff. Appreciate you coming to the channel and
absolutely
promoting us as well. We appreciate being on your channel. It's always a lot of fun. So
absolutely, man. We love calling on the show. Yep. We'll be joining tomorrow for the Michigan Team Rivalry Show at 8:30 on the stream with Oregon's super fan Ben and of course Cliff and Mac as well, discussing ball and all the big games that are going on this weekend. Jim Knowles, I know we want to talk about. I mean, they're the story. They are the laughing stock right now in college football. They have the worst loss in probably 40 years. Let's just be completely honest about it. It's rough. And so, hey, Mark, we're definitely going to get to Indiana, Oregon, Michigan, USC, all those games. We got some analysis coming up.
Well, he's pretty sure he's talking about the Ohio State, Illinois game.
He might be, yeah. We have it. You have a little bit a different score than what I'm thinking. If you want to circle back to yours, I think you were saying 28-14.
Yeah, but 28-14. And again, just like, dude, if you look at just on paper, man.
Yeah.
Illinois is just every single stat of the game. This is the gap. Like it's that big of a gap. And it's just like, yes, they have the crowd in it, but the crowd can only do so much. And go ask Penn State what a crowd does for a big game. So.
Yeah, for sure. I have it going 31-12. I think Illinois is the first team to break the double-digit barrier, but we'll see. I mean, I wouldn't pass his defense to hold him under 10 again. I am curious to see how we shut down Illinois' power run game, and of course, Altmaier's athletic quarterback, but not nearly as athletic as Ramon Williams.
They are. In rushing offense, dude, they're 99th overall. They only average 130.7 yards.
Yeah, it's not your typical Brett Bielema offense. It's not. They that reared its ugly head versus the Hoosiers. They couldn't run the ball on them. And honestly, when I was watching USC, they couldn't really run it on them either. So
they're just lucky USC has a terrible defense.
It was right. It was a good rebound game to play USC. Everybody loves playing USC's defense, and interested to see how the Wolverines attack them in the Coliseum later this weekend. But Jim Knowles, though, what are you thinking on him, man? Like, my gosh, bro. I told you it would not be pretty in year one for his defense because it takes 3 years to get up to speed. It's too complex. But yeah, people are laughing at him, and honestly, I respect him for helping us to get a title. But we knew both you and I called it, man. This would be a tough first year for the Penn State defense, which is shocking because they got elite talent there with Dennis Sutton and Chaz Castillo as well. How do you think Jim Knowles is feeling right now about job security?
Well, look at the contract they gave him, and look at Here's the thing: after seeing him at Oklahoma State and Ohio State, you had to know what you were getting into.
Yeah,
It's
a track record.
If you go look at his time at Oklahoma State, you go look at his time at Ohio State. Year 3 is when that defense really starts showing up, and you're just like, oh my gosh, Jim Knowles did it again. It just took a while, but dude, this is just sad. Like the last 2 games, 859 yards, 16 out of 34 third down conversions against them, 42 first downs, 0 forced turnovers, and 1 sack.
Just one.
Just one measly sack. And it was probably Dennis Sutton Jr. I don't know, but dude, like, I'm sorry, man, but like, for those of you who still think that Jim Knowles is responsible for the turnaround of Ohio State's defense, the playoff run,
no. The evidence is there.
Not it, man. The evidence is there. If Ryan Day did not step in and say, fix it, do something, like we don't get those 20-something sacks in the playoffs. They literally turned the temperature up on teams and had these quarterbacks running for their lives. And
8 sacks on Oregon alone.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they had 4 or 5 against Tennessee. So it's
Nico was under pressure all day.
Look, Jim Knowles just his defense just different. His defense holds up against teams that don't really have that good of skill players. They just don't really have a pulse on offense. But as you see at Ohio State, when they played Georgia, when they played those Michigan teams, when they played Oregon last season, it just gave up over 400 and something yards. Now, what's even more pitiful about this is their interim coach is a first-time play caller.
Yeah.
And they're carrying him off the field like they just won the national championship, dude. And the most embarrassing thing is there were 12 fans who came on the field to celebrate. And
a little storm field.
Look, they probably thought, okay, maybe it'll be different at Penn State. Maybe Jim Knowles finally figured out, seeing the Ohio State national championship run, how the defense worked differently during that. And just no, dude, Jim Knowles' defense is Jim Knowles' defense. That's one of the big reason why he left. He didn't
stuck in his ways, isn't he?
He's stuck in his ways, man. And it shows, dude. I don't want to hear.
He's an old dude that will not change his ways. Mark says, let's say Penn State continues to struggle and they lose Northwestern this weekend. Would Penn State move on from Franklin? Knowles maybe the next man up to take over at that point.
Dude, Jim Knowles takes over that program.
He's never been a head coach, so I couldn't see him. I couldn't see him being the one to take over. But in terms of firing Franklin, we kind of discussed it a little bit on our weekend recap video on Sunday. I think there's a very realistic scenario where Franklin does not make it to the end of the season, and the snowballs on the Penn State Nittany Lions.
I mean, let's just look at this 3-game stretch after the Northwestern game. You have Iowa, Indiana, and Ohio State. You're at the shoe.
Yep.
You're hosting a very hungry, determined Indiana team, pissed off Kirk Cignetti coming to Happy Valley. And I guarantee you right now, he's not going to be scared whatsoever, dude. He's going to bite off your kneecaps. But you also have Iowa. The only way that Iowa doesn't Penn State wins this game is they just gotta They literally just have to turn it up on defense. Because, dude, if Iowa puts up a lot of points, a lot of yards, then it's like, okay, Jim,
Right.
what are you doing, man? Like you were brought here for this all in season. It just man. But here's the thing, man. I give Franklin more of a blame than Knowles. Franklin has been there since 2015, and just like, dude, did you see the clip at the end where he's just standing there taking it all in? His daughter comes up and hugs him.
I did. I finally did see it. Yeah.
And it's just if you haven't seen it yet, go check out the short. I put it up. I added some music to it. It's hilarious.
It's so funny, bro. Yeah, that's the perfect song choice. I applaud you on that one. Yeah, man. Franklin is kind of the same way as Knowles in terms of his stubbornness. He doesn't adapt offensively. He continues to struggle to recruit elite offensive linemen. And so even when they have a good running backs like they do right now in Singleton and Katron Allen, they just can't produce at the level they should be. I mean, they're both averaging, I think, under 4.5 yards a carry right now, which at the college level is not very good. It needs to be 5.5 plus, to be considered a good average at the college game. And so, yeah, I don't know why he doesn't ever adapt or learn from his losses. It's like he just doesn't apply the lessons, and it's like he's not learning from these losses. He just continues to bang his head against the wall, expecting different results, and he's getting the same results, and now even worse, as we saw this hilarious loss to UCLA out in the Rose Bowl this past weekend.
Yeah, man. But dude, like, you know what? Let's see how Jim Knowles does against Ohio State and Indiana, because they have they're both in the top 10 in terms of overall offenses. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens there. But again, dude, if they lose 2 out of those 3 games, it's over. It's done, dude. Pack up Franklin's things, have them ready to go. Just hand him a box on the way out. And if it's an away game, don't even let him on the tarmac. Make him put up his thumb and get on a Greyhound or something.
Right. There'd be no justification for a 5-loss season, really even a 4-loss season with this roster, this staff, and the expectations that honestly were deserved entering the season. We knew Penn State was going to fall short in the big games. But my gosh, man. My gosh.
Dude, first team in 40 years to lose to an 0-4 team. That's a milestone that you do not want to be known for. You're on the wrong side of history, my friend.
Right. Mark, our good friend, brings up another good point here, and this is something I wanted to discuss as we kind of continue on. So thanks for bringing it to our attention. If Cignetti gets 10 wins with this schedule, he's going to get a lot of attention in the head coach market. This is something we actually discussed over text, you, Matt, and I this week. And what do you think? I mean, is he going to be in line for some big name jobs this offseason and leave Indiana in the dust?
I will say this. There's one team in mind, one coach in mind who I think could not make it, because the amount of talent that they've gotten, and they just gotten the top quarterback in the nation. They got the number 1 running back coming in next season. They have these top defensive classes, and you know what? If Kirk Cignetti could put together the teams he's been at Indiana with the transfer portal, imagine what he can do with top recruiting classes. Yes, I'm talking about Michigan and Sherrone Moore.
I thought so.
I could see a scenario where Sherrone Moore possibly gets fired, and then Michigan just throws the bag at Kirk Cignetti. I'm telling you, man, these Michigan boosters, I guarantee you they're not going to mess around with what they're getting, man. They're like, okay, we want to see at least 1 or 2 natties with these teams. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe Moore is just not going to be the guy. Maybe Cignetti.
If they have another 4 or 5-loss season, they're not going to settle for that with the Bryce Underwood, era being a failure and having 2 4 or 5-loss seasons following up a national championship. I could see them moving on. Can you imagine the troll level he would bring to the rivalry? Like, we despise Jim Harbaugh, but can you imagine him as the head coach of the Wolverines, dude?
I mean, it honestly be like another Jim Harbaugh, dude.
It would be
It
fiery.
really would, dude. It would be so fiery, man.
It'd be
It's just
quite entertaining. I'm not gonna lie.
honestly, like I don't. I think Michigan was. I don't think Michigan is as good with Strom more than without like seriously, like he comes back and the offense compared to like when he was gone,
Right?
it's just like I don't know, man. He seems low energy on the sideline.
He does.
He's a great recruiter. We've seen that before with Brady Hoke, but
Thank you.
I just want to see more and before like but Cliff says I don't necessarily want that to happen, but I could definitely see that as a possibility trading up more for Scanetti, dude. Like I'm telling you, it's a big possibility. Let's see how the season goes. Let's see what happens when they face off USC this
Yeah.
weekend, which we'll go over in a bit, by the way. Then I'm pretty sure they have Washington at home, and then
Sure.
they face Ohio.
Of course, Ohio State at home.
Ohio State at home. Now, let's say that they don't make the playoffs again. What are the chances that boosters are like, enough is enough? Like we're not going to mess around. Could it be unprecedented? They fire a year 2 head coach. I don't know, but I'm looking at the amount of talent they have, the amount of talent they're bringing in. It wouldn't be unprecedented to me. That's for
the talent is there. Let's be completely honest. The talent is there. Except maybe in the wide receiver room. I did see Andrew Marsh step up this weekend. He actually looks really, really good, Rob, I must say. He looks really good. He made a back shoulder catch that a freshman just shouldn't be making.
We saw him.
What's that?
It was only a matter of the time. We saw him at the spring game. It was only a matter of time.
Yep. So he's performing well, and he's stepping into that wide receiver 2 role, and he could potentially, help salvage Michigan's season. But I don't know, man. Getting back to Signetti, I mean, he's already 64 years old. I don't know how many more years does he have left on the coaching scene? He seems like he has the energy and work ethic to keep going, but Pat, once you get over that 70 spot, who knows? I mean, college football is an exhausting sport. It's 16 hours a day, every day, maybe even more. And I don't know if we would want to start over at another program, but we'll see. Yeah. Well, that's an interesting concept. So thanks for bringing that up, Mark.
Speaking of Michigan, they take on the Trojans this weekend at the Coliseum.
That cross-country travel.
7:30. It's going to be a big matchup. Now, I wrote down some key stats that could possibly determine the game. So, USC, they have a high-flying, high-powered offense, ranked 2nd overall in the country, averaging 565 yards per game. 3rd passing offense, averaging 338 yards per game. Now, Michigan's passing defense is 59th, giving up 206.4 yards per game, but they have not seen who's it? Jacoby?
Their quarterback?
No. They're Ohio USC's top wide receiver. I think it's
okay. I think you might be right, but I know Maava is he's an elite athlete too, man. He's a lot of fun to watch. Lincoln Riley always finds his quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's Jacoby Lane, dude. It's Jacoby Lane. I mean, dude, that dude is a dog. Like, but
he's nice.
But so they're 13th in so Michigan is 13th in total sacks. They've had 15 sacks this season, so they can get after quarterback. But
a lot versus Nebraska too.
Sacks allowed. They've only allowed 4 sacks this season. Michigan's rushing offense is 13, averaging 237.8 yards per game. USC's rush defense is 29th, giving up 108.4 yards per game. So what does Michigan need to do to win? They need to win the time possession to create turnovers, man. They need to keep this USC high-powered offense off the field as much as possible, convert on 3rd down, establish the run game, and but here's the thing: like in terms of creating turnovers, dude, What's the quarterback's name? I forgot his name.
Maeva.
Yeah, he's only thrown one interception this season, so he's been
Yeah,
he's been pretty good.
honestly, looking at the stats so far through, a lot of the Big Ten quarterbacks, they're not turning it over. Mendoza doesn't have a pick. Underwood only has the one. Maeva only the one. It's amazing how Maeva is taking care of the football, and he's leading that explosive offense, and it's going to be quite the challenge. The best one, absolutely, that Michigan has faced this far. And defensively, Michigan, they cleaned up versus Wisconsin, but they've missed a lot of tackles this season. They are getting after the quarterback well, like you mentioned, but I need to see better tackling. Now, Rod Moore coming back, he seemed to really organize that defense a little better, and they seemed like they were in better positions with him back there. And honestly, Zeke Berry is looking better too, but the Wisconsin passing offense is pretty ineffective. So I take what I saw on Saturday with a grain of salt.
So here it is. So out of these two games I'm about to name, I think Michigan loses. Actually, no. Michigan either loses one of these, either to USC or to Washington.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick USC, dude. I'm still not a believer in Michigan's secondary. I don't think they're all that great, but I do think they get after the quarterback. But USC has a great chance to counter that. They've only allowed 4 sacks this season. I just think that the UC offense, it's going to be a lot, man. And again, I'm just not a firm believer of Sherrone Moore. I mean, he can talk all he wants about it's sold out because Michigan's coming. Sure, yeah, go ahead and say that. But what have you done to deserve to say that? But at the same time, it's just like if Michigan can really establish that run game and churn the clock out and make USC play Michigan's type of football, it's just like Michigan could win this game. That's the scenario. I'm being fair. I'm naming a scenario, I just think that again, it's either USC or Washington. I'm picking USC to beat Michigan.
I can see why you do that. I think Michigan's defense, with Moore coming back, they just looked better. But like I said, Wisconsin's offense has been garbage all season. Fickle's on the way out. So how much can I really read into that? Adding one player back into the defense. But, Michigan's done a good job of stymieing Ohio State's offense. And USC runs a similar offense, although with a lot more athletic quarterbacks than what Dave prefers. And so I could see them having success defensively versus the Trojans. But I don't know if I don't know what Bryce Underwood's going to look like on the road again. We've seen him twice now on the road. He played much better in Nebraska than they did versus Oklahoma. He is playing the USC defense who needs to improve and won't ever improve if Riley remains their head coach. I want to lean USC in this one, and there's definite scenarios where it could be. I think this is a toss-up, man. I think Washington has a better chance at beating Michigan than USC, just in my analysis and my view of things. I think I'm going to lean Michigan in this contest. I don't want to. I think the travel is going to play a factor, though. Michigan starts the first half, doesn't play well. It's hard to sit around and wait all day for those games too. So, I think that plays a factor. But I think Michigan does edge them. I will go with the Wolverines in this contest, a slight contest because of Justice Payne's running attack. I think they can run on USC.
Oh yeah, I think they can too. But I'm just not a firm believer in Sherrone Moore yet.
I'm with you. I'm just not, man. And I'll be rooting for it.
But you know what? I will say that it's, even though I said I pick one out of those 2 games for them to lose, to me, the jury's still kind of out in that Washington-Michigan game.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough one. We'll see how the Huskies continue to develop.
I want to see how Washington does this weekend. and I want to
Seriously.
see how Michigan does this weekend, and then I'll make up my mind.
No doubt. That's fair. That's fair. It's always good to make a prediction with more information. Now, how about the Indiana Oregon game, man? That's
Man,
the game day is visiting Eugene again
Battle of the
for
Titans, man. Battle of the
this
Titans.
the battle for Fernando Mendoza versus Dante Moore. Just offense galore. If you love scoring, you're gonna love this contest. I think that's just the way it's gonna play out. I
Well,
think Mendoza's gonna have his way. We saw Indiana run all over Illinois. I don't think they'll be able to do that nearly as much versus Oregon. We both think highly of their defensive line. Of course, Mateo Uyunglele and others have just been studs for them. I am going to be the matchup that I'm looking forward to the most is Indiana's passing offense and Mendoza and Elijah Surratt among others versus these new longer defensive backs for the Oregon Ducks. Who wins in that matchup? Big Ten football is traditionally won in the trenches, and I think that will have a massive factor. But I think the second biggest factor is IU's pass offense versus Oregon's passing defense.
you know what? I literally tried to see like how different these teams are, and they are just so
Sure.
similar, man. Let's
They
see.
are.
Let's look at the head coaching resumes.
Yep.
Cincinnati's 35-6. Lanning is 40-6. Now, I will say that Lanning has played against tougher competition
Oh, absolutely.
over the years than Cincinnati. But what Cincinnati has done, he's established himself as a winner everywhere, and even Lanning has touched upon that. But Cincinnati has said that Lanning is an impressive young female coach.
Sure.
So similar teams with topping offenses and defenses, both in the top 10, and just like, dude, I don't know if this is going to be high. It could be a high scoring game. It could be a low scoring game. It could be the battle of the defenses. Their defenses could, cancel out each other's offenses. It's a possibility, man. It could be like the 2011 Alabama LSU game. It really could.
With what Indiana has shown so far, it's hard to disagree with that viewpoint where it could play out, perhaps being a little lower scoring than I'm going in predicting, because they were attacking that Illinois offense and they completely shut them down outside of one play, that explosive touchdown to start the second half. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think the points will fly. But either way, it's going to be a battle to watch. It's, they two very different head coaches in terms of personality, but it's going to be an epic clash. And I think Oregon probably has a better staff, which makes me think they'll prepare their athletes a little bit better than Indiana does collectively.
Yeah. So keys to winning for both teams, because they're just so similar, man. It's both top 10 defenses. Both, dude, they're all the weirdest. So they're almost top 5. They're the margin in terms of ranks. It's like this, man. It is so close. 1-6, 1-7, 1-5, 1-8, and just like, so the keys to winning is turnovers and time possession, coaching and execution, dude.
Yeah.
But really, I just think it's gonna be coaching execution, dude.
The chess match is gonna be fun to watch.
But here's another possibility, man, because I'm gonna point to last season. We saw Indiana just show up out of nowhere. They took the college football world by storm in terms of
the story.
They were the story, blowing teams out, just margin of 35 points per game. Kirk Cincinnati's first year, established winner everywhere. But as soon as you saw him going against a team with somewhat better talent and similar coaching in terms of success, it just didn't work out, man. We saw they almost lost to Michigan because of the talent gap is finally like this. It came closer. They got blown out by Ohio State, and they didn't stand a chance against Notre Dame in the playoffs. So it's just like, can he shake that? Can he shake that? Pretty much I got these players from the portal, but when I go against teams who have top recruiting classes, I'm gonna get blown out. Can he shake that? Could this
Mhm.
be the game where he finally does it?
Well, the thing is, the Hoosiers are better. I think you would agree. They are better this year than they were last year, which is
Yeah.
impressive. I thought they would be good, but I thought they'd slide back a little bit to the 8-4, 9-3 range. And they're exceeding my expectations. They're playing better. They're aggressive. They're attacking both on offense and defense. I just think Oregon overall has the better roster depth and just the better roster in general. I think and better athletes. I think Surratt is incredible. I think Indiana's tailback is incredible as well. But overall, I think the depth is going to show the deeper into this game that we get, and it's going to play out a lot like Ohio State, Indiana last year, where Indiana might keep it close for a little while, but ultimately Oregon pulls away. I
Yeah,
don't think it'll be a huge win, but I think they pull away late to secure the victory, probably by about 10 points or so.
yeah. So in terms of similar coaches, man, Signetti is just intense. They're up like 50-0 against Illinois. Still stone cold, not impressed. Still running up the scoreboard. And then you have Dan Lanning, who probably gave the speech of the century against when they were about to play Illinois. I mean, when they're about to play Penn State in a whiteout game, he said, "Hey,
Sure.
look it out there. It's completely white. That's our canvas. We're about to go out there and paint our piece." And they did that. They won, dude.
Yeah.
It's just like two similar head coaches, man, just personality wise and just the will to win.
Yeah.
Just motivators, leaders of men.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be exciting to see, dude. It's gonna be the game of the weekend, possibly.
It's definitely why game day is there, man. Number 7 versus number 3. It's like splitting hairs. Do you have a prediction for now, or do you want to hold off on that?
Man, I really want to see Indiana pull off this upset, dude.
Oh, me too.
Just to wipe the smug look off Dan Lanning's face, man.
Yeah, buddy.
I mean, dude, I honestly, dude, what did it like, dude? He called a timeout in the big house just so his players could see,
Watch him leave.
just so his players could see the fans leave.
He's cocky like that.
Yeah, dude, just like, man, I really want Indiana to win, but the way that Oregon has been playing and nothing seems to phase them, dude, and they're at home.
Right.
You know what, man? Forget it. I'm gonna call the upset, dude.
Go for it.
Indiana comes to Eugene. Kurt Signetti just shocks the world. He finally gets his top win, proving that his recruiting portal tactic works.
Sure.
And they get out of there with a 24-21 win.
You heard it here, folks. Rob is picking the upset. He's going all chips in. The Hoosiers take the dub in Eugene, and they'll be a top 5 team if they go and do that for sure. It's amazing, man. I would love to see it. I'm rooting for it as well. I want to see that. I'm not. I do like Kurt Signetti's confidence. He is a little smarmy for me as well, but I would like to see him get over the hump just for the faithful, man. The Indiana faithful have stuck by this program through all those down years. But
here's a scenario that could happen, or it could be like in the past where the transfer portal strategy just it is what it is, and the talent differential shows up, and they just get absolutely blasted after like 2 or 3 quarters.
God, I hope not. I want this to be a fun contest all the way through, but
yeah, definitely.
I can't wait to see it unfold under the lights in Eugene. It's going to be a fun one, man. Our last topic for tonight, we want to discuss kind of the Heisman candidates and where we're thinking who is emerging as a candidate. We've seen a lot of people honestly fade away. The preseason favorites are pretty much
Reed,
all the way gone.
Texas A&M.
That's your
Marcel
vote?
Reed, Texas A&M, man. Like, here, wait, no, here's my top 3. Marcel Reed, Dante Moore, Jeremiah Smith. Then you put Justice Haynes in there, dude.
Okay. See, I did want to discuss Jeremiah Smith because he's getting the touchdowns. And
He's
so
just not
that's
getting the
amazing.
yards. He's not getting the
He's
yards.
not getting quite the yards that you would expect a wide receiver to be in consideration for. And so I don't know if I would consider him a finalist at this point of the season. He would have to improve, I think, yardage wise. Now, touchdowns, he's there. I
Yeah.
fully agree with everybody else on the list. Justice Haynes is in there. I think he's clearly made his case, man. He has a
Yeah.
big run every single freaking game, and he did it again versus Wisconsin, over 50 yards. I think Haynes is there for sure.
Yeah.
Dante Moore, I think he's got the best one of the season so far. I think that's clear, although it did get a little diminished with Penn State's loss this past weekend. And then another running back I'll throw in there too is Mizzou's running back, Ahmad Hardy. I think he leads the nation both in touchdowns and in yardage. I'd have to fact check myself on that just to double check it. But he's burst onto the scene this year as kind of the running back that nobody had heard of before this season. Another guy I want to throw at you, our buddy Dave Johnson. What about Trinidad Chambliss, man? Ole Miss's quarterback.
Dude,
Is he in contention
let me see.
with the win over LSU?
1 second, man.
I'd put him in that category. That's why I wrote his name down. I'd put him in contention at this point of the season.
I want to see. So he has 1,033 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean,
those aren't huge numbers.
Yeah, those aren't huge numbers, dude. That could mean he's like a great game manager and he gets the job done.
He's got the big win to back it up, and so he probably does need to put up more numbers, but he is having a good season so far, leading the offense. What about Carson Beck? I want to throw that name your way. Ooh. I know he has improved from Georgia, but he also did have that 3 interception game, which maybe knocks him out of contention at this point of the season so far.
Who did he have that against again?
It was 2 weeks ago. I can't remember who it was. Verse.
Let me see.
Excuse me.
So it could be he threw 2 interceptions against USF and 1 interception against Florida.
Okay.
So he almost had a 3 interception game against USF. But dude, he has 1,213 yards, 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 84.4 QBR. So it is possible, man, that
if he can keep leading the Hurricanes to big wins, he's going to be in it, right?
But their defense, man, it's hard to tell who's leading that team with the type of defense they have.
Sure.
I mean, and the fact that there's in terms of quarterback play. I mean, you had the number 1 overall. Like, dude, you had the quarterback that they had last year, Cam Moore, dude.
Yeah.
So it's crazy what they're doing over there. I hate to say it, man, but dude, the NIL experiment for them may no longer be an NIL experiment. It seems like they're getting the bang for their buck, dude. They have Jason Taylor as their defensive line coach.
Sure.
They're able to hit the portal hard. Mario Cristobal, I want to see more from him, dude. But dude, like they have 2. Actually, they have 3 ranked wins: Notre Dame, USF, and Florida State. So,
they're putting together a resume. He's in consideration, I would say.
You know what? I like your take. I like your take about Jeremiah Smith. So I'm gonna switch it, dude.
Okay.
Marcel Reed.
Yep.
Dante Moore.
Yep.
And Justice Haynes.
Okay. Fair enough, man. I'd say my top 3. I mean, Fernando Mendoza has a chance to enter this conversation because his stats are pretty good too. If he gets a win this weekend, he'll probably be my top 3, which is crazy because Indiana Heisman Trophy is never a sentence I thought I'd utter ever in my life. But for now, I'll leave him off. I'll put Justice Haynes as kind of the outlier, but he's putting up big stats. I'll put Marshall Reed up there as well. That's a good shout. And then I'd probably put Dante Moore above anybody else. I think he's the front runner right now. Although I feel like we need to see more. I feel like I don't feel like there's a clear, like if the season ended this week, I don't think there's a clear winner per se, in my opinion. There needs to be some separation, and I don't think we've seen that just yet. So
Hey,
it's gonna be fun to watch that race.
Man, pretenders are in September.
Yeah, any
Contenders
September
are
Heisman's out
are
there.
in November.
Any
So,
fakers out there?
I don't know, man. We'll have to see, dude. I mean, it could be Carson Beck.
Well, it very well could be, man. And honestly, it's been pretty fun to see all these new names emerge, throughout the country, because entering the season, all the talk was about Cade Klubnik. No way he can possibly win now. Garrett Nussmeier, I guess he could rebound and re-enter the conversation later in the season with some big wins, but right now he's not really considered. And I don't know why people were ever throwing Drew Allar's name in there, but he was a consideration preseason, and clearly no longer is, thankfully. But to all us Big Ten fans, we knew he wasn't going to win.
Garrett Nussmeier real quick to, kind of get a look here at his stats so far.
I feel like they're being led by their defense more, but maybe I'm mistaken in that.
So, I mean, dude, they have one loss this, so it's not completely over. I mean, he has 1,159 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Sure.
I mean, dude, so let me put it this way. He finished last season with 4,052 yards, 29 touchdowns. We're through half the games, almost half. We're at game 6 this weekend, and
yeah, this will be a midway point.
He's got a way to go. So,
yeah, those aren't necessarily Heisman numbers, if you ask me. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. This should be a fun weekend of football. Outside of Indiana, Oregon, which game are you looking forward to watching the most?
Oh man,
and of course our game.
Yeah, of course. You know what? Let me. I pulled up the slate right here.
Yeah.
So we have at 12 p.m. on ABC, you have 8 Alabama against 14 Missouri. Then you have
that's me fun one. Tell a lot.
Number 1 Ohio State against 17 Illinois. Then you have the Red River rivalry, 6 Oklahoma against Texas.
That's my pick. I love watching that game every year.
Yeah. Dude, that's during the Oregon Indiana game, man.
I know.
3:30 slot. Then you have Texas A&M against Florida. You have then 7:30 slot prime time.
Sure.
You'll have to pick between Michigan USC and South Carolina LSU. So
I'm
picking Michigan USC. It's Big Ten play. You always want to know what's going on in the Big Ten.
Exactly.
You could, obviously, Ohio State, Michigan meet that last game in that last week.
Yeah, what's it gonna mean
in November? What's it gonna be, man? So,
so much on the line.
Honestly, dude, it always what comes out of that game is who wants it more. Who's gonna make the least mistakes? Who's down to execution? Everything else. That's what last season showed.
Sure. We're gonna find out a lot more about the Big Ten teams this weekend. It's gonna be fun, man. I think in terms of Oklahoma, Texas, I love that game. I look forward to it every single year. I think this is gonna be we're used to a shootout in that contest, but I think this season we're gonna see a little bit of a low scoring game because John Mateer is out for the Sooners, and we've seen what Arch Manning and the Texas offense looks like so far this season.
Let's talk about Oklahoma's defense. They have the number 1 overall defense in the country.
Super good.
Top 5 in rushing defense.
Sure.
Top 5 in third down conversions given up. Top 5 and I mean, pretty sure they're
stout. Except Brent Venables a factor, man. He knows what he's doing on that side of the ball. And if he can get John Mateer back and healthy, man, he's saving his job because he was on the hot seat entering the year.
I mean, they're 2 overall in passing yards allowed. They've given up 118.4 yards per game. In terms of rushing defense, let me get to the rushing defense real quick. Rushing defense, they're 5th overall and giving up 74.6 yards per game. And just their total defense, dude, it's just, I mean,
it's astounding.
They're number one overall, giving them 193.0 yards per game. So
They're playing a lead on that side of the ball.
other than that, like dude, that could have been Michigan. Like I think Oklahoma and Ohio State are the best defenses Michigan's going to see all season.
You're spot on, man. You're spot on. It's going to be a fun weekend to watch. We're going to be tuning in, and we'll report on all on Sunday. Can't wait to discuss what was in the weekend of college football. A couple videos coming later this week as well, too, from us. But that's going to do it for tonight, unless you got something else to say, Rob.
Nah, man. Looking for another great weekend of college football. You got another big slate of games. The wedding, like, thank God the wedding I went to was last weekend, because this weekend, man,
it is a better slate. You're not wrong.
It's a way better slate than last weekend. And you know what, dude? Fall weddings should be canceled, prohibited. There should be like
banned.
some like law signed in that just bans them.
Man law needs to come into account there.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's gonna do it for us tonight. Go Bucks and God bless. We will see you on the next one.
OH.
IO. Can't wait.